Mike Sargent, and this is Arise on Screen. After 67 years, the festival in the south of France continues to dazzle movie lovers and industry insiders with its first look premieres. This year, Arise was there on the French Riviera. The 3-hour Turkish film Winter Sleep took home this year's festival's grand prize, the Palme d'Or. We'll tell you about this year's hits and misses on the big screen. Plus, talk with a global mix of up-and-coming actors and filmmakers.
For me, the movies are like a machine that generates empathy. It lets you understand hopes, aspirations, dreams, and fears.
This year, the documentary Life Itself about beloved film critic Roger Ebert premiered at the festival. I had the honor of sitting down with his widow, Chaz Ebert, for a tender look back at her husband's life.
I think that my husband is an extraordinary man. I think that his life and his understanding of the human condition was so deep and profound that he was someone who deserved to have a movie made about him.
All that and more from this special Cannes edition of Arise on Screen. Hello, I'm Mike Sargent, and welcome to Arise on Screen, your global home for films both on screen and behind the scenes. We've been at the Cannes Film Festival here, and we're going to talk to you about the good, the bad, and the ugly here at Cannes. And in Cannes movie news...
What do they want?
Whatever we got.
After a tight race with 18 films in competition, this year's Cannes Palme d'Or trophy went to the Turkish film Winter Sleep. The 3-hour-plus epic story about a marriage is directed by Turkish filmmaker Nuri Bilge Ceylan and was the longest film in the competition. The American film Foxcatcher, starring Steve Carell, Channing Tatum, and Mark Ruffalo, won a Best Director nod for Bennett Miller.
I don't know how I'm going to spend the rest of my life in this place where I can't be me.
There's movie love and hate at Cannes. In the hate category, opening the film festival, Grace of Monaco was slammed by critics, as well as the royal family of Monaco.
This is the great thing about movies, is that you get to decide whether you like them or not.
Both Ryan Gosling was booed and panned for his directorial debut in Lost River, and Ryan Reynolds was booed for his film, The Captive.
Alaikum salam.
Critics loved Timbuktu, a political and religious film that got a standing ovation, as well as Salt of the Earth, a documentary tribute to renowned Brazilian photographer Sebastião Salgado. The festival was not afraid to push the envelope in red carpet events. For the Expendables 3 premiere, stars including Harrison Ford, Mel Gibson, and franchise creator Sylvester Stallone rolled down the famous Festival Boulevard La Croisette in tanks, while actress Cate Blanchett posed on the red carpet with a mechanical dragon for Disney's How to Train Your Dragon 2. With big stars come big money. The festival is not only known for its lavish parties, but also for raising a lot of money for charity. I caught up with actor Jimmy Jean-Louis, who is in Cannes as an ambassador for the Generous People Gala for the Heart Fund. Hi, I'm Mike Sargent for Arise on Screen here at the Cannes Film Festival, talking to actor Jimmy Jean-Louis. Jimmy, how you doing?
I'm good. Good to be here.
Okay, so let me ask you, how many times have you been to Cannes?
This is probably my 7th time. Yeah.
Really?
I come here pretty much every year. There's always a reason that takes me here.
Well, what's the reason now? You don't have a film here, but you come anyway. Why?
Actually, I do have a movie.
Oh, you do have a movie
Yeah,
here?
it's called 419. It's not really at the official selection, but it's in the market. Yeah.
Okay.
It's the latest movie that we've done. It's about, well, the 419 scam.
Oh,
If
okay,
anyone
okay.
know about that, it's about that. But precisely about the prostitution ring that goes from Africa, Nigeria, all the way up to Europe. There's a prostitution ring where at home in Africa, they make the girls believe that they're going to do some jobs in Europe, but by the time they get there, they're in the streets. It's a
Wow.
huge topic.
Wow.
And through that little story, we go into drugs and, you know, the whole thing. So
Okay.
it's a very important story. I mean, obviously, the timing is right with what's going on in Africa right now in Nigeria.
That's very true.
So yeah, it should be out by the end of the year.
I have no doubt that it will. Well, let me ask you now, what is it about Cannes? What is it about Cannes that makes it more special than any other film festival? And there are lots of them.
Well, I think Cannes is definitely the biggest market. You know, if you are in the film business, you have to stop in
Right.
Cannes. You know, if you want to have a global idea of what's going on, you have to stop in Cannes because you have the Indians, the Americans, the Africans, the Chinese. You know, all the filmmakers from all around the
All
world.
around the world.
You know, they're here. So, you know, I think it's the best platform. Yes, you can use that for the movie business, but this year I also use it for charity. It's called Generous People. You know, it's to try to get money to fight the heart disease problem throughout the world. So it's, you know, it's just something that's ridiculous. I took a surgeon to Haiti about 3 years ago,
Right.
where he operated on a couple of kids, open heart surgery.
Right.
And then the following year, we went back with a team of 26, and we operated on 10 kids.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's called the Heart Fund. So the party that we're doing is try to get money so we can build a bus where we can equip that bus, and then that
The bus can just do it on the road. Okay.
Exactly.
Mobile heart
We'll
surgery.
start in Haiti, but we'll also go to other places where the Heart Fund is present. Mauritania, India, and various other places.
Okay, so you do more than act, I see.
Exactly.
Okay.
You know,
Well-
and all that is in partnership with my own non-profit organization, which is Hollywood Unites for Haiti. So,
Well, let me ask you, your sensibilities, that seems to translate into some of the work you've done, because you always do things that in some way are socially conscious.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Diary of an Angry Black Man,
Yeah,
things like that.
correct.
So what makes you choose a role, and what excites you as an artist? What makes you want to do something?
well, first of all, the script has to be great. You know, it has to be a reason. Via movies, we educate the world. You know, we're really we're educating the world. You know, that's why America is so powerful, because they've been educating the world with Hollywood.
That is very true.
And why isn't Africa
true.
nowhere? Because how many African movies do you know? So, you know, it's a very important tool. So
Yes,
that's
it
why
is.
I'm wishing to also, you know, go and work a lot more in Africa, because I believe that the future of movies can be in Africa, because none of the African stories have been told yet.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, so, you know,
Jimmy Jean Louis,
Yes.
well, thank you very much for coming down. And I want to see your
Pleasure.
new movie.
yes, indeed, 419.
This is my first visit to the Cannes Film Festival, and I had the privilege of going to a special screening of a new documentary about Roger Ebert. It's called Life Itself. And then I had an even greater privilege to sit down with his widow, Chaz Ebert. I'm going to play a little clip for you of that interview, which will air in full in a few weeks.
Roger was a good addition, but he also could take it. He is a nice guy, but he's not that nice.
It's Thriller Week on Siskel and Ebert in the movies, and we've got 3 new ones. Sound a little excited, Jane.
It is the final document of an incredible life. And I'm glad that it's one that I get to share with everyone, because I think that what Roger, first of all, he was such a beautiful writer. I mean, his writing made me swoon. And he also was a very good broadcaster. So he has all of the Siskel and Ebert shows for people to see, and they're just as fresh today as they were when they made them. But more than that, the things that he talked about, empathy, about cinema being an empathy machine, making you realize what it feels like to be a person of another race, to walk in someone else's shoes, to experience being another gender or another nationality. That's the kind of legacy that I think I'm so glad that he leaves.
Well, very much so. And I have to say, as a film critic, I would always read his reviews. And he would always see something that you hadn't seen, or notice something that you hadn't noticed. And because I think he was not just a student of film, he was a student of life. He studied people, and he got it. So I'm curious, and this is for both of you, it's very raw, it's very real, it shows such a vulnerable side to all of you, to you, to the family, his nieces. What was that like for you? And for you capturing it, what was that like?
Some of it was painful. Even now, I have a hard time watching the movie all the way through to the end, and that's because Steve did such a good job with it. You know, when I go in, I think, okay, I can handle it now, and sometimes I can't. But it's just so beautiful. It's for the family. I don't know. We're really happy with the film. We just wish that Roger was here with us to see it.
And the documentary is amazing. When we come back, we're going to have a special surprise critic to help review a few of the films in this special Cannes Film Festival edition of Arise on Screen.